It's already crazy in salons, and then stuff like that happens. You're like, it just comes to us. It comes to us.
The energy, it attracts a very specific energy.
It does.
It keeps you on your toes, right? Like, I can take anything on. We all know the beauty industry comes with some truly amazing and rewarding moments, but let's keep it real. There's also a lot of crazy and chaotic moments. Today, we're diving headfirst into some of the wildest, cringiest, most jaw-dropping industry horror stories. And to spice things up, we're gonna throw in some Am I the moments for those times where you have to actually stop and ask, am I the problem or is it y'all? So buckle up because we have an amazing episode and I'm excited to share that with you. This ad is brought to you by Boulevard, the beauty industry's most loved client experience platform. Sign up and see how easy switching softwares can be. Onboarding is simple, supportive, and is actually kind of fun. Today's listeners can save 10% and get free guided setup. Simply head over to joinblvd.com/podcast to book a demo and get started. Hi, everyone. Really excited about this episode. This is going to be focusing on a couple of things. We have a couple horror stories from the industry, and then we're also talking about Am I the which I'm really excited about. So we're going to jump right in. I'm sure a ton of you have stories. I mean, we're in the beauty industry, so of course we have those rewarding, stories, but we also have those truly chaotic ones. And we're going to share a couple. So this first one is Am I the is saying this person refuses to pay more for a salon service than initially quoted. So I'm going to read it and you guys let me know what you think. This is coming from the customer, right? So I live in LA, decided to treat myself for a 500 full head highlights with a very well-known colorist. Very pricey, but hey, when in Rome. She said, I booked the online service and I was quoted 3 hours for $500. When I show up, they tell me they might not have the supplies, but are awaiting a delivery. So first red flag. Then she says she waits 30 minutes later and she's already annoyed. And then they go ahead with their scheduled appointment. She tells the colorist that she wants to go blonde as possible. She said, of course, we can't go platinum today, but we'll get you as close as possible. And then the foils and the treatment and, the gloss, blowout, all of that goes on. The service took a full 5 hours. The results were beautiful. She said, I paid the quoted $500, even tipped 20% in cash. She left feeling happy. And then 20 minutes later, she gets a voicemail from the salon saying they undercharged her for the service. And it was actually $1,000 as opposed to the $500. She said, I freezed my card right away. They start texting and calling saying the colors forgot to tell the front desk. No one mentioned the price change, not once during the 5 hours that she was there. She says, now I'm torn. I was going to sleep on it and maybe just pay it, but now I don't know how I should handle it. And she was like, I'm just over it. So she's wondering, is she the or is the stylist and the salon that in the situation? What do you guys think?
Definitely the stylist in the salon. Yeah, because they should have given her pricing before they started working on her. Like, even if she was like quoted something before, if it's going to change, even if it doesn't change, right? Before I'm touching you, like consulting with you, I'm going through everything we're going to do. I have an idea of how long it's going to take. If I thought you had less hair and now you have like 3 times the amount of hair, I see that in front of me now. Like, I should be able to quickly quote, put that together and let you know, hey, actually, this is what's going to run you. Are you comfortable with that? Are you cool with that? Okay, let's get started. Right. So, yeah. And I feel bad because I've, been at the desk when something just like this happens. And let's say the client goes ghost now, like the front desk and the manager like get into a battle with the stylist or the colorist over something like that because then they want to blame the desk for like letting the client go or and like not figuring it out. It's chaos when actually, they should have just mentioned this right up front so everyone knew what was going on.
So it is the stylist that should have updated on the actual pricing you're saying, or is it the
Yeah,
front
they
desk
should.
that you think should have caught it?
No, I think the stylist should have
Yeah.
mentioned it to the client directly, like right
Mhm.
away before even starting, and then notifying front
The
desk and
front
things like that,
desk.
because then she's given the option of saying, "No, okay, I can't actually afford that." Like, maybe she's saved up this
Right.
500 and she's been looking forward to it, and she's putting everything in this, right? Maybe it's nothing for her to spend $1,000, but either way, it's up to her. It's her decision, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
What do you think, Daniel? I feel
Yeah.
like you've seen this too.
Oh yeah, I would agree. Like if anything is changing in the service, like you need to tell the client there. It sounds like maybe like she came in and said she wanted as blonde as possible, and so the colorist is like, okay, this is going to take XYZ much more
Mhm.
product. But yeah, you need to tell the client like, actually, this service is going to require this much product, this much more time. So it's going to cost more than you originally booked for. And yeah, they can make that.
Yeah.
I feel like even if it's a returning client that like gets the same service, like it's very common practice to, even if it's what you normally get, prices haven't changed or they've only increased a little bit. All service providers are pretty used to like walking through being like, okay, this is what we're looking at today. This is what your total will be.
Yeah.
And like making sure so that they don't run into this and then potentially like the stylist is losing out on $500 of revenue.
Definitely. You make a great point about like, even if like they've seen them before, like go through the same process with every single client.
Yeah.
You just never know.
I agree with both of you, or all three of you, because I would not be paying an extra 500. They would never see me again. I would be blocking them on everything. Because yeah, you can't just double the price and not tell me before. Like, yeah, you've lost your client. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and if that was my providers, like if the stylist forgot to tell the front desk, I would probably want the stylist to be the one to reach out, not like putting it on the front desk of like,
Right.
you guys didn't charge her correctly. Like they didn't know. So it's what can they do? Like that puts them in an uncomfortable position. When I manage providers, I'd be like, hey, if you forgot to update their appointment, like you got to reach out and let them know, like, hey, I forgot to add this on there.
Or take the loss.
Or take the loss. Yeah.
Take the loss, yeah, because even if they told the front desk and she goes up to the front desk and now it's 1,000, you're still going to be upset.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
totally.
It still needs to come
Totally.
from the stylist.
If you didn't have that conversation before starting the service, and it's all a loss.
Yeah.
Like you gotta let it go.
Yeah, I agree. You got to comp that extra 500.
I know it's painful, but you gotta do
Right.
it.
Yeah, you got to do it. So this next one is, we're calling it Salon Karen, because there is a video that we are going to link to this episode for you to watch. We want to make sure you look at it. Within this video, there is a client that is receiving hair foils from an assistant, and the stylist is there as well. And she's essentially telling the assistant that she doesn't want her touching her hair. She wants only the stylist touching her hair. So at one point, when the stylist comes back in, she gets angry. They're going back and forth and, with this conversation, and she kind of jumps at her, like jump scares her, trying to act like she's going to hit her. And at this point, the stylist basically says, you know what, you got to go. At first, she's like, I'm going to have to reschedule you because you're out of your mind. And then at that point, when she jump scares her, she's like, okay, you got to go. So when she told her to go, she literally was like, I'm not even taking the foils out of your head at this point. Like, you got to walk out like this. My question to you all is, would you take the foils out, wash her hair, and then fire her
No.
as a client? Or
She
would you
can
just
look a
kick
fool
her
if she's
out
going to act a fool.
and have her hair fall out, basically?
You're allowed to have a problem with all those things. You're allowed to be like, "Oh no, I just want you touching." At the end of the day, we're touching people, right? So if you don't want someone touching you, that's fine. If that's how someone works, then maybe that's not like the colorist or stylist for you. However, when you are communicating something you don't want and you decide to like shoulder
Right.
check someone, like, no, you're immediately out. Like,
Yeah.
because it's actually a liability to continue like working with that person, right? Because let's say you decide to be nice and you take the foils out, you take them to the back. What if she decides to just like hit you with the right hook or like hit the
Right.
assistant? Then what?
Right.
So no, get out.
No fighting
Yeah.
in the salon.
I
No.
also think like if you're seeing a stylist, you should have respect for anyone that they have in their space. Like that's a
Mhm.
human being. That's someone that obviously is important to the stylist and that the stylist has like working with them. So if you're going to be disrespectful and like say things like, I don't want her touching me. I think she was like refusing to refer to her directly. Like she'd
Mm.
only speak about her, but not talk to the assistant.
So crazy.
So it's like if I was a stylist, I wouldn't let anybody disrespect my assistant like that because that's like your team.
Exactly.
Not treating her like a human, literally.
Yeah, that's just like weird behavior. Just
Yeah.
like
Yeah, you don't
It's
want a
red
client
flags.
like that.
no.
Yeah.
Karen.
Also, weren't they in like kind of a sweet setting too?
Mhm.
Like, so that's what's like, okay, then it's just like the three of them
It's
in
just
this little space, like
right.
no one else to like back them up. It's scary.
I agree with everything that's being said. To Skya's point, like I remember seeing that all the time where like the client is like shows so much disrespect to the assistant. Like soon as the stylist or colorist is like out of earshot, and it's like, what is going on? What makes you think that you can like treat somebody this way? That's like the most memorable client that I had to fire was because they were like talking shit about the assistant to the colorist. And the
Yeah.
colorist is like, what do you mean?
Like, I
What-
trust her. Like, what are you
Yeah,
talking
she
about?
works for me. She
Right.
works here. Like, chill. It's
Crazy.
insane. That is an insane video.
Yeah, I personally think that the stylist was very calm. I don't know if I would have been able to keep my composure if someone like jumped at me like that. I mean, I would hope so, but I mean, in the moment, I have no idea because if somebody's trying to hit me, I'm blocking it in some kind of way.
Also,
you know?
thank God she was filming, right? To like,
Right.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that. Like she had
Seriously.
she had a camera in her suite.
Well, and like Shanalie said, like there are situations where you are alone with clients. Like there's late nights at the salon. There's, if we're looking at other verticals, like med spa, you're in a room with a client with the door shut. Like if a client makes you feel uncomfortable in any way or not safe, there's no amount of money that's worth it. Like
Yeah.
immediate, it has to be taken care of. It can't be like, oh, they spend a lot of money or, we might lose this revenue from not having this service done today. Like it's not worth it.
Which
No.
is crazy. I've been there where it's like they're one of our top spenders. Let's give. I'm like, really? All right, we'll give them another try. But internally, I'm like, are you serious?
There's so many tough moments in self-care businesses, like, but this is like she did this to herself.
Yeah.
Like you'll have bad days. Like even the nicest client will have like a bitchy moment, like it
Yeah.
happens. But this is like
This is
she's
extreme.
deranged.
Yeah, like something's wrong. Something's off.
Yeah.
I wonder if she has all her hair still. All right.
Yeah, who knows?
Alrighty, so this next segment is going to again focus on some of our client horror stories, but these are actually from our listeners from the Last Client of the Day podcast. So if you have any horror stories, definitely send it over to us because we would love to hear more of this. This is probably our favorite episode, I feel like, for the entire, or maybe mine. I shouldn't speak for
Mine
everybody.
too. I love the tea, love the gossip.
Yes. So this first one, the stylist said I had a bridesmaid, or she was a makeup artist. She said I had a bridesmaid who threw up halfway through doing her makeup and then sat back down in the chair right after, like it was completely fine. Have you all experienced that also?
I'm not going to lie. When I was in
You
high
were the
school,
bridesmaid?
that was you.
that was me. That story was about me.
my God.
No, when I first started working, I did makeup at a department store and I worked with a cosmetologist who did wedding makeup on the side and I would assist her. And weddings, you will see so much craziness. Like families are stressed, people are drunk, people are hungover from the night before. So I don't think that's surprising. I feel like that's probably pretty common, but I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be like, I'm stopping your makeup and not doing it. I would just say, don't get throw up
Right.
on me.
It's also like,
Yeah.
clean yourself
Well,
up, come back. It should be okay.
I think the context of it was that she threw up and then just like continued to go on. I don't think she like excused herself to
Oh,
go.
she just
like
threw
a
up in the
trash can on
chair?
the side?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Like she
Like,
threw up
grabbed
in
it?
front
Yeah,
of
that's
this
wild.
makeup artist,
That's a little
so
intense.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
You got to
Like,
do
there's
it
also like
privately.
yourself.
I know like even with weddings, right? Like we forget this, but at the end of the day, we do answer to like state board, and there is like health and
yeah.
cleanliness that we gotta like think
Gonna have to
about.
throw
So
up in the trash
imagine
can.
like because you've seen like the wedding space, like you have like 10, 12 people that you're doing in one room. Everyone's like doing the picture and doing all the stuff, the video and getting ready together. And so I imagine that's like feeling crazy, like in a small space like that. And she's like, okay, well, like I'll just clean my brushes really good. Like I'll give you this lip gloss, you know. But, like,
Yeah.
don't you want a teeth brush? Like, hello,
Right.
toothbrush.
Do you want some mouthwash or no?
Toothbrush.
A toothbrush,
A
basically.
toothbrush, yeah. But do you know what I mean? Like, hun, a mouthwash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking like you get up, excuse yourself.
Go to the restroom.
Yeah,
come
low
back.
key.
Yeah.
You got to be low key about it. You can't just do that in the
You
room.
can't just reach over and then come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also just throwing up during a service in general is like you got to control that because if I see someone throw up, I'm throwing up.
Yeah, I'm very much like
So,
that
like, if
too.
you're gonna throw up, let me know so I can leave the room.
Yeah, that's
Like in med
hilarious.
spa treatments, we have people, there's a lot of times that people pass out, they get nauseous, they feel like they're gonna throw up. Some people will just like dry heave in front of you and like won't let you know. And then you're like, oh no, what do I do?
Like a puppy?
Yeah.
Oh my God. This reminds me of the time when I was in like a Christmas pageant. I must have been like 5. And I was like an angel in the Christmas pageant. I was like all proud because like my angel costume was like different from the other angels. And then I like threw up and I was like, this show must go on.
You're like, I have to
And I was like
persevere.
trying to go on like on the stage and they were like, get that child off the stage
A
immediately.
true diva.
Yeah. And they got like removed. And I remember my mom carrying me like back to the car and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like,
I let down my family.
My fans. Like,
I feel like this brings up like a random point, but like people not leaving work when they're sick.
oh
oh,
God,
goodness.
yes.
Dude,
Or
sometimes
coming
when you're
into
like,
work while you're
please.
like coughing and hacking.
just leave.
Just
No, it's
If
so
you're gonna
true.
be, if I have to hear you gag in the bathroom all day, just go home.
I thought we stopped doing that after COVID. I thought that's like
Yeah, but like prior, I feel like people would just try and like roll through the
Really?
whole like sickness at work, especially for
Absolutely.
like stylists, because they're like, well, if I don't see my clients,
Yeah.
I'm not going to make any money.
Yeah. Well, it's still treated like a luxury in our country, you know, to take time off when you're sick,
yeah.
like unwell.
And
Yeah.
like, not every state has PTO or sick leave. Like, sometimes that's it. Random point, but
yeah.
I just always think about that.
Take time off, guys, is what
Yeah.
we're saying.
Take
time
care
off.
of yourself.
Yes.
Don't
Your
get
health
other
is more
people sick.
important. And
Yeah.
don't get the whole team sick.
And use a teeth brush
After you swallow
after
it.
you throw up.
So you run a beauty business, which means you wear like 7 hats, right? Boulevard's all-in-one client experience platform lightens the load. Think seamless scheduling, automated marketing, and built-in ways to make more revenue. Less stress, more success. For a limited time, we're offering podcast listeners 10% off plus free guided setup. Get started at joinboulevard.com/podcast.
All right, so this one's a little bit interesting because it is about hygiene, very important, of course. This one was someone giving a Brazilian wax, and while they were waxing on the wax strip, when it came off, with the hair, there was also a piece of onion on the strip, like on the actual strip with the hair. What do you guys think about that?
She put the onion on the wrong taco.
Where does it come from?
It was definitely from some type of food that she was eating that made it down further than her
You don't think it
mouth.
was like a
Yeah.
homeopathic treatment?
Oh, good point.
Why would you?
Maybe.
Onions can do a lot. People
That's
put them
true.
on their.
Garlic. I've heard garlic too.
Yeah, I've
People
heard
put
garlic.
garlic in, you know,
Keep
different
vampires
places.
away from there.
Well, we won't say where, but different places, private places, and it's supposed to have like medicinal
Yeah.
purposes. Like I've also seen like onions in the socks.
Yes,
yeah.
I
You
have seen
know?
that. But
Like,
I've
hold on.
never seen an onion.
In a coochie.
Yeah.
Supposed
Do
to be
your
garlic.
research, people.
Yeah, onions,
Yes,
garlic.
don't just throw vegetables down there
Intimacy.
because you think it's okay. Like, do some research,
Yeah.
please.
Yes. Also, don't take our advice on. We don't know what we're talking about.
Right.
Look those things
Yeah,
up.
go to a doctor or a homeopathic
Yes.
specialist.
Exactly. But no, that reminds me of the TikTok that we were all talking about the esthetician that
Yeah.
was eating her lunch in her car and giving tips on like hygiene because of like all the crazy things.
Like how to wipe
She
your
said-
booty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she said, she's a wax woman and she's because people don't wipe correctly. Like there's been like fecal matter in their like waxing areas and stuff like
Right.
that. So
Yeah, we'll link that video also for you so you could take a look at it. But yeah, she gives a very detailed understanding of like what happens if you wipe wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it pops up in service, and then
Exactly.
service providers need to then figure out how they manage those conversations.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's just like an added layer of stress for, you know, estheticians, especially where like you know, that's just like that's personal business. Like, I don't want to have those conversations.
You also,
you know? like
I mean, I kind of see it from like a medical perspective, but like when you do have a client in your chair and you notice something that could be like a serious problem health wise, like you kind of have a responsibility to let them know, like, hey, and it could be a very wide scope of things, but there's definitely situations where service providers have to like have that uncomfortable conversation of like, hey, you should really like think about getting this checked out or looked at.
I have a friend that's a nail tech, and she would tell me horror stories of how she notices a lot of people will maybe only wash the top of their feet. They don't wash in between or the bottom. And she also said that once when cleaning nails, a little wiggly thing came out of one of them. And I was like, bruh, I would never touch a foot after that. I am not strong enough for
Yeah,
that.
that's
But yeah,
the
it's like 101 basics. Like,
yeah,
you
that's the
gotta
tough
clean
place
yourself.
of like what our industry has to do,
Right.
you know?
And how to have the conversations after, like, let me help you help yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's funny because like service providers are sometimes like the first time that somebody hears like, oh, that something is like weird or like something's off or like you
Hmm.
gotta go have something looked at. Like just like to your point, Sky, like you might waxing someone, you might notice a really scary mole. It's like, hey, have you had
Totally.
that like looked at, right? Which I think is like way chiller than what we're talking
Right.
about
Yeah.
like here,
No,
you
but
know?
totally.
But it
There's
happens.
all the time. Or even like I mean, I've heard of stylists like helping someone who maybe thinks that they just have dandruff, but it's really like plaque psoriasis on their
Hmm.
scalp and they can't see that. They don't know. And so having a stylist that's like, hey, this looks a little bit more serious than, just your day-to-day dandruff. Like I would go see a derm for this. We kind of all have to do that when we're in
Yeah.
those roles.
Comes with the territory, totally.
Exactly.
I can't do that.
Oh
That's
yeah.
why
No,
I'm a
it's not for
manager.
me. Right.
Like
It's not for me.
Yeah. So how do you tell somebody that they have worms in their feet?
I mean, you show them. I would literally hold it up to their face and be like, this
Do
is
you
what
want to
came out
take
of
it
you.
home?
Oh my
Yeah. Do you
Do
want
you
God.
want to name it? Okay, next one. This one's intense. From one of our listeners that messaged in, there was a freezer in like their dispensary, like back office area, and someone found a dead squirrel in the freezer. And as I continue reading this, it's actually really funny. They found out that one of the stylists was actually learning to be a taxidermy and stashed the dead squirrel in the freezer to use for later. So, yeah, someone found that when cleaning out the freezer. How would you approach that as a manager?
Be like, hey, you guys can't keep your squirrels in the freezer. You got to do that on your own.
Would you question the staff member? Like, what's going on with you?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. When I was young and I worked in an unnamed department store, we had a lizard that we found that was literally vacuum sealed dry. So he was flat, but it was kind of a
How'd that
novelty
happen?
because when clothes get shipped
Oh,
over,
it was like in the packages?
yeah.
That's nasty.
And I got a little emotional connection to him. So I kept him in my little area in the back. And someone threw him away after like 6 months. And it was sad.
This whole
But-
episode's getting cut.
Why?
Was that not a story?
So what was his name, Skya? Because I know you named it. Let's hear it.
I called him my flat lizard.
My flat lizard.
I was like, who the threw away my flat lizard?
And your teammates knew clearly that you were keeping a flat
Yeah, I
lizard?
kept
Oh
him in my
God.
I kept him in my closet that I kept my stuff in.
That's
Like on the wall.
crazy.
Like
He was
pinned
propped
on the-
up.
Propped
Kept you
up.
going is your motivation to get through the day.
She's the one that did taxidermy for sure.
Yeah.
But that's like not in a fridge where food goes.
Right, where
Yeah.
your lunch is. Right. So what would
Ice
you do as
cubes.
a like how is that conversation going as a manager? I'm just curious.
I mean, honestly, I feel like how do you not fire this person?
At least a write up.
I'm just curious, was it in a bag or was it just sitting in like a clear Ziploc?
I have no
Like,
idea.
Yeah, that's a good
that was my
question.
vision.
Or raw. Like no bag, just touching
Just rigor
everything.
mortis.
On top of the
Rigor
ice
mortis.
cubes.
Yeah, I would probably have I would have dreams about it. So this next part of this episode is telling our horror stories, which I'm sure we all have enough that we can probably write a full book about it. It's actually a good idea. I'm thinking about doing it. But for
Coffee
this
table
one,
book.
let's start with Daniel. I want to hear one of your horror stories.
This one is good. So I was working at a salon in a hotel, and Prince was staying there and he wanted to get his hair done. He had his own stylist, but he just needed a place to get it done. So they rented out the salon for a couple hours. So first, when he got there, I had to get everyone else out. And then as I'm preparing to leave and lock the door behind me, the door handle breaks off. So now I'm stuck in the salon with Prince, who does not want anybody else there to see him. So I go and sit in the closet while I wait for maintenance to come and unlock the door,
You had a phone with you, so you could.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
frantically, like freaking out that I'm in a closet on the other side from Prince. But then the next day, we get back to the salon and one of the chairs are missing. One of the stylist chairs are missing.
Prince stole the chair?
Well, that's what everyone thought at first.
Impossible.
Like he wouldn't
He would
steal it.
never.
Why? So then they check the footage and they see that another stylist has taken out the chair after he left, took out the chair that he was sitting in and put it in their car. I imagine to sell online.
I get it. I get that. That actually makes a lot of sense.
I wonder how much they were trying to sell it for.
I know, like how
So how much is it
Also,
going
like
for?
those chairs are very heavy.
They're
Yeah,
so
and
heavy.
super expensive. They're
Like that'd
up there.
it's like a long process to move that by yourself.
You
Yeah.
should like roll it, kind of like it's the
They're probably
hydraulic.
dragging
She was
it
thing.
out.
committed.
Like,
Yeah.
She was committed.
So what happened to that person? Fired, obviously.
Yeah.
was it worth it? I want to know. Was it worth it?
Probably
for her?
not, because I don't think they got caught. They didn't get to sell it.
I know, but do you think did you ever get the chair back?
Yeah, it was her.
That's unfortunate. Okay. All right, next one. Shani.
We used to have at one of the salons like we worked at, we used to have like a back area. We call it the gazebo because it was like kind of a little sheltered area that had like just chairs. People go out there to do some of the longer services like keratin, stuff like that. Anything that people are sensitive around. And it was just outside of the salon, right? One time we came to work and there was a bunch of dildos and underwear in the gazebo. And so basically, like, somebody had a in the gazebo. And we were floored. We were like, and the worst part was, it's like, well, first of all, like, why did they leave their dildos? You know, it's like, take those with you, right?
They're not disposable.
They're not disposable, right? So we had to clean those up, get rid of those. And like, there was like an ID left behind. Like, they had a good old time. And they were probably so pleased to find our gazebo. It was, you know, felt like a little like shed situation. So yeah, that's always great when you have to like gather up a group of assistants and you're like, hey, like, listen, so put some gloves on and meet me in the back. And then you take them there. So, and they see what they see. And then that's like the talk of the rest of the year, basically, you know? So
It was just
but-
like a regular like white tent outside, like a
no, it was
10
like
by
like
10,
a
like-
wooden, like it was a wooden, like
Oh, so it
tiny,
was
like
nice.
gazebo.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a good little space. Like you could hang back there, like if
Mhm.
someone wasn't doing a client. So yeah, no, they definitely took advantage of our little keratin booth back there. But
I hope
yeah,
you
it's
guys
just like you don't
sanitized.
like it's already crazy in salons, and then stuff like that happens. You're like, it just comes to us. It
Yeah.
comes to us.
The energy, it attracts a very specific energy.
It does.
Keeps it also very interesting. Like, what else is next? It keeps you on your toes, right? It's like I can take anything on because of the crazy I have to deal with on a day to day. So I have one which isn't too crazy. It's not as crazy as the one you just told, Shanalie. That one's a little wild. Yeah, mine's is I was actually at the resort that I worked at. We had a pool in our spa that everyone, of course, wanted to visit because it was just right on the edge of the water. So you're literally looking out at Catalina Island. And I remember it was a very, very busy day, a summer like Saturday, and our pool was full. And during that time, you have to have specific rules of like who can come in, how much they're paying. You know, prices might go up during the weekend because, you know, people want to be there. It's beautiful outside. So yeah, I remember there was this lady that had a service. So she automatically gets access to the pool and the facilities for the day. But her friend, just some random person off the street that she knows, wanted to come and sit with her at the pool. Of course, usually we're going to accommodate. We're going to make it happen. We might charge her for it. But yeah, we would want you to come. But at this time, there was literally no seats. So I'm like, where would you even sit? She got so upset with me. I remember this being almost 2 hours of a conversation.
Oh, wow.
Of her yelling.
The lady or the friend?
The lady.
With the service.
Yes, with the service was yelling that I did not let her friend into the pool. At one point, I remember her friend just laying out because there was a cafe right next to the pool. Her friend just laid out in the middle of the walkway, like as a protest to us. I swear, like, if you don't let me in here, I'm just gonna lay across this walkway path.
Like lose herself to the ground.
No, she's just laid out. She put a towel and everything. I was like, this is way too much. And then, yeah, basically towards the end, it was still a no. Like it was a bigger no towards the end because she was just acting a fool. But I just remember, I would say like a week later, I was served with papers saying that I was sued because I didn't let her friend come out by the pool. I wasn't sued though, so don't worry.
I was like,
But
they won.
yeah,
The
they did not
audacity
win.
is like,
I was protected, so
So,
don't
but
worry.
what is there to like?
She sued.
What law did you break? How
I
did
did
you
not break a
like?
law at
What
all.
Yeah, but what did
what
it
did
say?
you do?
It literally said that I was being sued for making her experience bad at. That's why I say experience is everything, guys. But
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
but
but
yeah,
I think it's kind of wild to even like, I would never even ask to
I-
have a friend who's not receiving a service
I know.
come
And
to like, it's a very high-end place. It's not like your neighborhood pool.
and you have rules. You have specific standards. Like
Like
if
any
we
private pool
could, we
would,
would let anybody in. Right. Any private pool you have. Exactly. But it was just this specific one that didn't understand our rules and wanted to just, blow everything up. So great experiences again as managers.
I know we have to deal with everything, even lawsuits.
Even lawsuits. Yeah.
I once had someone write a really mean Yelp review about me, and they're like, "She thinks she's a celebrity," and I was like, "Do I?" It's like I'm answering phones. Like,
you're like, thank you.
Thanks.
it was so good. We like printed it out and put it up for a little bit.
Did you frame it?
Yeah, and then somehow some of the wonderful sales managers, like we like passed it around like here at Boulevard, and we like laughed about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. Still.
Yeah. It's always good to laugh at the craziness versus cry. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I would be so frustrated. I'd be like, oh my goodness. But
Yeah.
it's good that we can laugh about it now for sure.
Yeah, that one came from like this person like wanting like I guess like a refund on their hair, but like
Mm.
nothing was like wrong with it at all. And she couldn't even like really communicate what the issue was with it, but it looked exactly like the picture,
Mm.
So we were like, okay, but I don't know.
You're like, so you just don't want to pay, baby? What's up?
Yeah, but it was like already done. Like she paid, and I think then she went home and had buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
Like I know, like one thing we all have in common, even with the different verticals, we worked at businesses that really had high average tickets. So sometimes folks go home and they sit with it, and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe I
Right.
did that. Like, let me try and like
Like
pull
they're
one
in the
over."
red when they look at their bank account, like, oh.
Yeah, because when you get in those like gray spaces, like in services, like people try it. Like even if
Yeah.
they're happy, they'll still try it.
You have one for us?
I have one. This was like way back in the day when I was young, like first working in a med spa. And it actually wasn't a client. We had rented out some of the extra rooms we had to other providers, like completely like massage therapists, counselors. And I worked the front desk for the med spa. So we generally had very minimal interaction with the renters' clients. Like, they would come greet them. They had their own thing. And very early on, you guys know, I don't like saying no to a lot of people. I don't like conflict. One of the renters thought that it would be easy if I just started doing all of her client paperwork and like
Uh-oh.
making calls for her. And she made it sound like my bosses had like approved it. So she'd be like, hey, so-and-so needs to fill this out. I do it. Fine, I'll do it. Then one day she comes in with a hoverboard. Like a hoverboard.
The renter comes in with the hoverboard?
Yeah. And she goes, hey, I'm trying to sell this on Facebook Marketplace. A couple people are going to come in and try this.
Absolutely not.
Can you bring me the cash when someone decides to buy it, or just let me know? So I'm like literally like 16 years old, and like 20-year-old guys are coming in like, I'm here to see the hoverboard, and like trying it out in the waiting room. And I'm like, okay, I have to like put a stop to this immediately and be like,
Trying it out in
no,
the
literally like I was like, we're going to get sued because someone's going to fall and hit their
Yeah.
head on the hoverboard, and it's going to be
On
my
you?
fault.
Yeah.
And my life will be over. So I had to be like, I remember I had to like put on my big girl pants and like walk the hoverboard into the room and be like, I'm not doing this for you. But it was like a huge point of conflict, like a huge, huge point of conflict that I wouldn't sell her hoverboard for her.
The audacity.
Absolutely not.
The
There's no
gumption.
way. You were being used. is what
She
that was.
also, after that,
Exploited.
Yes, exploited.
Yeah, that's terrible.
after that, we had a little bit of a beef, and she would steal the ranch out of like
Oh, okay.
the fridge that I bought for like my pizzas and salads. And she would do it on purpose. And we had these like, she would like eat the food that I brought for myself and then like walk by with it. And I'd be like, that's my lunch. And she'd be like, I know.
Whoa, that's like straight up bullying. You were getting bullied by this hoverboard lady.
And she would steal your ranch. That's just.
Now that I'm thinking about it, she also would never pronounce my name right.
How would she say it?
She'd be like Skylar, Skyla.
There's no L.
Yeah, there's no L in your name at all.
That's just
first
rude.
or
But just like a,
last.
hey, you're not important enough to know your
Yeah.
name, but still my hoverboard. Well, this has been a roller coaster. It is so much fun to hear people's horror stories. And I feel like it just brings that aspect of community together of we all go through it. We're all in the trenches together. We love hearing these stories. So if you guys have any, want to send any to us, hit us up on social at Last Client Pod.
Are you a beauty pro who loves what you do, but not the admin part? Boulevard's got you. From seamless online bookings to streamlined workflows and built-in revenue boosters, Boulevard is the easy-to-use platform that works as beautifully as you do. For tuning into today's podcast, you can save 10% and get free guided setup. Head to joinblvd.com/podcast to learn more and get started today.